Hello, welcome to March 1st. I'm super excited. I can't believe we've gone through 59 days. Today is day 60 of the 90-day 2026 tax talk. And if you remember, if you've been with me for the past 60 days, you will know that January we talked about preparing to file taxes, getting your business ready. Those were the topics that I was going over in January. In February, we dedicated to the One Big Beautiful Bill and how it impacts the beauty industry, the hair industry, and specifically. And so now that we're in March, I'm going to be answering specific questions that I've been getting from clients, but then also some people that I've been getting on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, people sending me messages. And I'm going to just dive in to answer those. So some of these may be longer than others. And today I am talking about the difference between the CTC, which is the child tax credit, and the ACTC, which is the additional child tax credit. I was preparing a tax return for a client, and when she received her refund, she was looking at all the credits, and I was explaining to her that she qualified for a portion of the child tax credit, and then she got the additional child tax credit. And she was like, well, Jennifer, can you explain what the difference is? I really want to understand. And you know me, I love breaking things down. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you are first time here in, join this live, welcome. My name is Jennifer. I am the founder and CEO of Hair CEO. We are a business advisory, bookkeeping, and tax firm specializing in helping self-employed hair professionals and hair business owners run legitimate, profitable, and bankable businesses. And so this series, I'm just walking you through some tax stuff. So that's what we want to talk about today. And if you are joining me live, let me know in the chat where you are coming from. If you're joining me on the replay, let me know that you just checked out the replay. You can do #replay. All right, so let's get into it. So child tax credit versus the additional child tax credit. Now, if you have child, then you will want to make sure you understand this. And the next page that I'm going to bring up, it has a lot of numbers on it, but I do not want you to get overwhelmed. I'm going to break this down very slowly. And then of course, you can just rewind if you missed something. But I'm letting you know right now because I work with hair professionals all the time. And I know numbers sometimes can freak you out. And you'll be like, oh my God, Jennifer, what is going on? And then you check out mentally. Stay with me. And I'm going to make sure you understand this. See, already. Nope, don't do that. Okay. Stay with me. Do not get freaked out by these numbers. And it's just a lot going on. Okay. So we're going to look at two different scenarios. We're going to look at hairstylist A and hairstylist B to break this down so that you can understand the difference between the child tax credit and the additional child tax credit. Okay. Now, in my example, we have stylist A. Stylist A is a hairstylist that has been working for a few years and she is making money. She is profitable. Okay. Stylist B, she's new. She's new. She hasn't made much money, but she made a little bit of money. Okay. And her tax bill is $300. Stylist B. Now, stylist A, she's been doing this for a while and her tax bill 2025 was $5,000. Okay. So all of these are made up numbers. This is not based on a specific client. I'm just giving you an example of the difference between the child tax credit and the additional child tax credit. Okay. Now, in both of these scenarios, stylist A and stylist B has one child. That's it. Okay. So one child. Now for 2025, filing the 2025 tax year, the child tax credit is $2,200, right? So if you have one child, you may qualify for the child tax credit, which is $2,200. Okay. Now, You'll see here that they both have that because that's just the number for 2025. Now, when we get to the child tax credit, it is what I like to call like I just want you to think about it like a discount. Okay, so it's a discount credit, and that's going to become important when I break down the other type of credit. So the discount credit, when you look at stylist A, she's going to get the full discount of $2,200, and that's because she owes 5,000, so she's able to take the full discount. Now, stylist B, she's new. Remember, I told you she just starting out. She didn't make as much money as stylist A, so she didn't owe as much tax as stylist A. And so she did owe $300. So of the child tax credit, she can get the discount of $300 because it's based on your tax amount due and it's up to $2,200. So she couldn't use more than 300 because she only owed 300. So, oh, you got me? You follow me? Okay, great. All right. So now that they had this discount applied, now we need to see what do they owe now. So stylist A, after the discount, she owes $2,800. So her child, having her child, whether boy or girl, has actually given her a credit, a discount on her tax bill. And so now she owes less. Okay. Now, stylist B, because she has her child and she owed $300, she applied that discount. So now her remaining tax balance is zero because the discount wiped it out completely. Okay. Now, okay, you're saying, all right, so okay, I'm with you, Jen. So she still owes 28. This person owes zero. So now we get into the refundable credit. Okay, the refundable credit is the additional child tax credit, the ACTC. Okay, now the ACTC is what is like remaining after your discount up to a certain amount. So this one, there is no refundable portion of the credit because she used it all. She used it completely up here. So it wiped it out. It's gone. She doesn't have another portion. But this woman, this stylist, could be a guy or a girl, I guess. So this stylist has the refundable portion of $1,700. Now, if you're quick with your math, you're like, but Jennifer, the math ain't mathing because $2,200 minus $300 is $1,900, and you do taxes. I'm not going to you for my taxes. I know how much $300 minus $2,200 is. Thank you very much. I do know that the math doesn't look like it's mathing, but it's taxing, okay? The math is not mathing, it's taxing. And the taxing says that the refundable credit goes up to $1,700, not $1,900. This is why you need to work with me because I know what I'm doing, okay? So now you got $1,700 that you can get as a refundable credit. So this result means this stylist A, if she has no other credits, we just talking about the credits here, she's going to owe $2,800. She originally owed $5,000, but because she has a child, the child helped her out, and now she owes less money. This stylist B, is actually going to get a refund of $1,700 because of her child, because the refundable portion of the ACTC was $1,700. Now remember, not $1,900, because the government says we can refund it up to $1,700. So let's say her bill was zero. You're like, well, why couldn't she get the whole $2,200? Because I don't know. That's the government, that's Congress. Talk to them, not me. I'm just explaining it to you. I don't know why they have a max. All I know is they have a max, and the max for 2025 tax year is $1,700. Okay. So this stylist will get $1,700 back in this scenario. And yeah, this is the difference between the CTC, child tax credit, and the ACTC, which is the additional child tax credit. So if any of this did not, oh, one other thing I want to make sure I mention. So you just don't get this credit by having kids, right? You just can't be like, oh, well, I'm just going to file some taxes because I have kids. No, it doesn't work that way. You do need to earn some money. Okay. You can't, I promise you, you can't make this stuff up, right? Had a client come in, stylist, and she was like, yeah, I lost money, but I want to file taxes. I was like, okay, great. We can do that. We can do that because, maybe she wants to roll over some losses for future years. So tax return showed negative however much. I said, okay, here's your tax return. You lost money. We can roll this over for future years and bank your losses. And she was like, well, wait a minute, Jennifer, I have 3 kids. Where's my refunds? It doesn't work that way. You have to make money to get credits. You can't say, oh, I didn't make any money. And then the government just be like, oh, you didn't make any money? Okay, well, here's some credits for you. No. It doesn't work that way. So you actually have to make at least $2,500 in earned income before this even kicks in. Now, the $2,500, remember, that's how much you have to earn. Don't say, well, Jennifer, you said 300. No, I said that's how much she owed in tax. Follow me here. So yes, you have to earn at least 2,500 in order for this tax credit to even kick in, right? So of course, the client was like, all of a sudden, she was like, oh yeah, I did make some money. Yeah, okay, Willis. Whatever. I'm not here to judge. Okay, you found some money that you made. I'm here for it. How much did you make? But let's document it because you're not about to get me in trouble. So I need this written. How much money did you all of a sudden make when you told me you lost money? So, but I'm not here to judge. I'm here to teach. And if you are in the hair industry and you have a child and you want to make sure that you're getting all the credits that you are entitled to, I have a link in the description. And I'll tell you before I go there, it's really important that you do work with a tax firm that's going to explain this stuff to you, right? Because my client, I explained when she was like, oh yeah, I lost money. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to bank the losses, but you don't get a refund this year. And she was like, whoa. Wait a minute, Jennifer, let's run that back. You need to make sure you're working with a tax firm that's going to educate you, right? Because if you're putting this in, what's it called? TurboTax, because I know they run ads on my videos. Thank you, Bill, for letting me know. TurboTax is running a lot of ads, but they're not going to go into your details like we're going to do here to make sure you understand exactly what's going on, what is being represented on your taxes. So this is what you get when you are working with a firm that specializes in working with hair professionals, this industry. We know this industry. We've seen it, not all, but we've seen a lot. And we have patience. We work with you and we love this stuff. So if that is you, I would love to help you out. The link is in the description. And I will see you tomorrow when we tackle another question, right? So question. In March, I'm going through questions. So if you have a question, and I know someone on an earlier live had a question, Sir, I'm gonna get to you. You talked about the wash of the stocks, like the wash losses. I am definitely going to get to that in March. So if you have questions that you want me to break down and you like the way I break this down, you liked the way I broke this down, leave a question and you can either send me an email, you can send me a message on Instagram, TikTok, however you want to reach out to me, leave it in the comments. But I will get to you, but you need to make sure it's, at least you got to be number between 2 and 31 because we only got 30 more days in March for me to do these lives. So you got to be one of 30 questions. All right. All right, guys. Well, again, my name is Jen, and I simplify profits and taxes for self-employed hair professionals. And I will see you tomorrow on the next episode of 2026 Tax Talk. See you then.